What's up, guys? We're back again, and today I'm going to be showing you how to side scrape. I'm in a training room with my claymate, Repentful, and I am in my T29. He is in his AT15. So we will be going over normal side scraping, as well as reverse side scraping, and overmatching. Just going to speed it up a little bit here so we can get to the battle a little bit faster.
Let's get this show on the road.
Gonna slow it down here. So first we're going to be showing you an example of bad side scraping. As you can see here, I've angled my armor a little bit too much, which is going to allow him to go through the side of our tank. As you can see there, we just took 215 damage. And now actually I'm going to talk about overmatching. So alright, so this is overmatching. So if we were going to fire our weapon, or our gun, at this kind of angle, here, and the impact angle from our position would be this, shell normalization would force it to be more like this. The reason for this is because as the tip of the shell hits the armor, well, I'm not saying this is how it works in World of Tanks, but this is how it works in real life. As the tip of the shell hits the armor and it digs itself in, the shell is still wanting to move this way. However, since the tip of the shell is embedded in the armor, there's more distance here than there is to the back of the shell. So the shell starts straightening out, which in turn decreases the effective angle of the armor, or effective thickness. I'm sorry. This does not work with high explosive shells. However, it does work with armor piercing and armor piercing composite rigid (APCR). Heat shells are not affected by this because they basically explode on contact, and well, just go look it up if you don't know how it works. This is World of Tanks. They don't really go into physics here. But anyway, overmatching is when the caliber of the shell is 3 times greater, or is at least 3 times greater than the thickness of the armor, unangled. When that happens, shell normalization, which I showed you a few seconds ago, is increased by 6 times. So if it originally was going to hit at this angle, after shell normalization it would hit at this angle, and then if it was overmatched, it would hit about at this angle. However, overmatching only works so far, and you can only ever get it to, I believe it's a 90-degree angle, or maybe a little bit more than that. So you could, if you were going to shoot like this, then it would probably end up hitting maybe like this, unless it's a 70-degree angle. Overmatching still will not work if it's a 70-degree angle, which is somewhat stupid because you can shoot at tier 1 tanks with the tier 10 gun and ricochet off them, even though they have like 1mm armor, and just the force of the shell, even scraping along the side, would go through the armor. But whatever, it's a game, it's not real life. So yeah, that's overmatching. Alright, so we're back, and this is going to be an example of good forward side scraping. Now this is very effective if your tank does not have a very good turret, or if you do not like to reverse side scrape. So as you can see here, I can still point my gun at his tank. However, in this position I cannot. So I have asked him to shoot me a couple of times here. You can see there, one of his first shot hit near our fuel tank, his second shot hit his rangefinder, and actually, if you ever find yourself facing off against a T-29 with the top turret, this rangefinder here, this is the no hitbox zone, which means you can hit it, you can penetrate it, but you will not do damage to it.
Our main gun is damaged. It's working, but not very well.
As you can see there, we did not take any damage in return, and you can, after the enemy tank has taken a shot, you will pull back and you can shoot him. So now I'm going to show you some reverse side scraping. This is very effective if your tank has a strong turret. So now I've asked him to shoot me again. His first shot goes in, it looks like it was trying to go into my turret ring. Second shot misses. Third shot goes into my commander's hatch, and if your tank does have a commander's hatch, they can still go through that armor. However, we'll be talking a little bit about that, more about that later. You can see we got tracked there, however we have not taken any damage from those shots. Aside from the commander's hatch and when we were trying to side scrape earlier, you cannot see it anymore. As you can see here, I'm starting to wiggle my turret to make it a little bit harder for him to hit my commander's hatch, and I'm going to start moving back and forth to make it even harder. Now at this point I start shooting him back, and you're going to see how effective side scraping can be. So we managed to put a shot into his commander's hatch, and he misses us in return. Now we're going to sit here and wait for our reload. Then we're going to pull back out again. Again we shoot him, and he misses us again. We miss. He doesn't take a shot. Actually he does, and it ricochets off our turret. Now if you get tracked, you're going to want to start doing this if you have a weak spot on your turret. As you can see, I'm wiggling my turret here back and forth, which is making it a little bit harder for him to hit my commander's hatch. As you can see, the shot just ricocheted off the top of our turret. And he puts a tracking shot into us. We start wiggling our turret again. Another ricochet. As you can see, it bounced, looks like it ricocheted actually, off of the commander's hatch. And he tracks us in this position. This is a rather bad position to get tracked in, because you cannot shoot him, but he can keep tracking you indefinitely. And, critical hit actually. And it looks like one more shot is gonna finish him off. And that's side scraping. So I'll see you guys next time.